Welcome back everyone to more Motorsport Manager Online. And in today's video, we're going to pick up right where we left off in yesterday's video. We've got 29 points from race number 1. We need a total of 125 in order to what I believe is going to be a movement up to tier number 3 overall, because we're currently in the A class. We've already been promoted through C as well as B. So as soon as we get out of A class, that should mean the next tier forward. So our cars, we're already making strides to move up into the great category. Our drivers are good, not necessarily great based on their overall ratings, but I think we're in really good shape. So the first thing we want to do is go ahead and finish up with our upgrades, this time for the brakes. They're now done. Let's go ahead and fit those parts on, and this should max out the car for Claudia. So we're at 902 right now on performance. First thing we need to do is swap these parts out so we keep the better part on Santa Ana, give her a small upgrade in performance, but mainly she gets a better upgrade as far as reliability goes. Then we're going to select Claudia, give her the much stronger part. That takes her up to 944. So let's go ahead and assign that. And we get 1 gear, so that's nice because we're going to need these before too long. So 944 performance for car number 1, 871 for car number 2. So those are done. Now let's go ahead and we want to move from level 7 to level 9 on the brake package for our second car for Santa Ana. So let's go ahead and start working on those. I love the fact that it only takes 10 staff to do these right now. Okay, we're going to do the same thing for the suspension. Not as huge of an upgrade in the suspension, but we want to make sure we get those upgrades as well. Our goal, as much as it is possible for us to do along the way, is to make sure that before we move up to a new level, that we have all of the parts maxed out for the level we're allowed to have. That's going to be our running goal. And we'll just see if we can keep that going reasonably as we continue to move up the ladder. It may be that it becomes cost prohibitive or even time prohibitive as time moves on. All right, so we've still got quite a bit of time on our HQ upgrade, and then sponsors still going to be a little while for that. So I believe we're ready for the next race. All right, so it looks like our track trait for today is high altitude, very small chance of rain, only 13%. But of course, we haven't actually seen any rain to this point in our progression. You can see there on the last screen, we need that bonus. Oh, wait, and just as I say that, let's see, what is the forecast? So we're going to start off on inters, and it looks like we're going to get into wets very quickly on about lap 2 or so. So we're going to start out on inters, as it appears as though that is where we need to be. It's still in the green here, not quite having reached the red. So 10th and 12th. Looks like everybody that I'm seeing is on enter. So it looks like lap 2 is where we're going to want to come in, or at the end of lap number 1. All right, so go ahead and attack here with everything you've got, because we're going to set up pit stops. As you can see here on lap 2, it's going to quickly get into wet weather. So we'll confirm that for both of these folks. Again, we hope that we don't get stacked up in the pits, but at this point, it just kind of is what it is, and we'll deal with it the best we can. Again, we want to attack. And okay, I like this. This being our first opportunity to see what happens with the weather. I like this green and blue shades that let us know what tires we need to be on. Again, going back to the PC version, this is not something that we had there. All right, so it doesn't look like we really got stacked up at all in the pits, so that is awesome. So now we're on the blue tire, or the full wets. We'll see how that works. And hopefully that was the right play. I'm going to go ahead and back down to neutral because I don't know exactly how this is all going to go. In fact, I'm going to go down to conserve here on Santa Ana since she does not have very much smoothness at all. So right now we are losing 22% per lap for Claudia, and yeah, basically the same for Santa Ana. So I like this. If we see that things are about to change, then we might adjust that. But right now you can see everybody is coming in and putting on the full wets. We got a few out there among the leaders that are still waiting to come in, but overall, I'm pretty happy with our strategy. We might could have gotten by with another lap before we did that, but I'm perfectly fine with where we are right now. Now, it looks like the rain is starting to taper off. That could put us in a very precarious situation. In fact, I'm going to back off even with Claudia. Reason being, I want to see if we can make these tires last until we need to make a pit stop and perhaps put inters on. But it doesn't look like that is going to happen, quite frankly. No, it is not going to happen. Yeah, we're losing too much here to make that happen. So 42%, we're losing 20. So that's only 2 more laps. We'll continue going with this. Because we see inters are going to come back into play. Oh, I really, really want to pit at the beginning of lap 7. I think that's our best bet. I don't think we're going to make it to lap 8, where we can get back down into inters. And then possibly, let's see, how many laps is this race? 9 laps. Okay, so it looks like we're going to finish up on inters possibly. Or actually, yeah, it looks like inters are going to be the way to go. So let's go ahead and pit. Wow, I really hate to do this. But we're going to have to put on inters and just take the hit, I guess. All right, we're going to run very low on tire. In fact, we may run out of tire here. All right, let's go ahead and queue up everybody. Okay, so we've run out of tire here for Santa Ana. Where are we? Okay, we're on the front stretch, so it wasn't too terribly bad. Okay, let's go ahead and go neutral on both of these. In fact, we might be able to see, you can see right here at the end of the race, it's going to be dry tires, but it's only for a portion of that lap. All right, how much are we losing per lap? All right, let's go full attack. It's only enough. We can make it to the end of the race at full attack mode with Claudia, who unfortunately is not having as good of a race today. So she's not as good in the wet weather as Santa Ana. That is actually one of the traits that Santa Ana has, is that I believe it's a 1.5 seconds per lap faster, something along those lines. All right, so let's see. We're at neutral right now. Let's go ahead and go attack mode for her as well. She is our one driver that is above the bonus line of 4th position. So we'll let her do her thing and just go all out. All right, so starting the final lap. We won't have quite enough to push it. At least not quite yet. Let's go ahead and do that now. We should have enough to make it to the end. Let's go ahead and go for that victory. And we're going to do the same thing here with Claudia. All right, but we want to have eyes on Santa Ana right now. 5.7 seconds as we come to, we've run out of time. So we're not going to quite make it to the victory with Santa Ana, but 2nd place, that is awesome. 7th position for Claudia, so I'll take that. Santa Ana and her amazing performance in the rain was plenty to get us where we needed to be. Obviously, had she had better performance out of her car, I think we could have gotten the victory. So overall, and there, in fact, there you can see a couple of Santa Anas actually in the top 3. So yeah, I'll take that. We come home with earnings of $150K, 29 more points as we work our way up the leaderboard. Okay, focused once again. We see these quite often. Unfortunately, the time restrictions make it very hard to get use out of those. We'll pick up some sheet metal as well as some copper wire. And let's see, what did these guys do? So they ran a couple of laps on inters, 4 laps on the wets, and then matched our strategy. Okay, not bad overall. We were pretty close in our strategy. A little different at the beginning of the race, but other than that, not bad at all. So we're at 88.67, so we're sliding down just a bit from where we've been in recent videos, but not too bad overall. 1.38 million would be our bonus as of now. So yeah, I'm not going to complain. We are doing quite well. And I would expect this to become more and more of a struggle as we continue to move up through the different classes and through the different tiers. And that would make sense. I mean, you can't just step into every new tier and win your very first race or two and dominate. You just can't have that. It won't work over the long haul. All right, so Santa Ana, we know immediately the brakes, we're going to have new brakes. We're also going to have new suspension, so both of these parts are out as far as fixing them. We only lost 2 points of performance here. Let's see, yeah, 300 is max performance, so we're not going to really worry about that. What I'm really wanting to work on here is the reliability, so let's go ahead and fix that. And this will get us up into the 80s and give us the ability to push a little bit harder. All right, so you can see we've already got one part that is ready to be swapped out, and that is our suspension. And of course, we want to fit this suspension onto Santa Ana. So we'll select her as the driver. We'll pick up a little bit of copper wire. And all right, so where's our performance? We've got 942 fully upgraded for Claudia, and we're working our way there. We're at 899 on car number 2, but of course that's only temporary until we get the new brake package, which will be a huge upgrade in performance. All right, now we need to come in under Santa Ana, who has more upgrades ready to go. So at this point, I love where we are on the race pace. Qualifying is not bad, certainly better than where we are with Claudia. So I think I'll do one more upgrade on race pace, and then I'll probably work some more on the smoothness, because I love seeing these purple numbers on the race pace. Really like that. So 240K brings us back down to 853,000. And there you see it. We were just talking about her prowess in the wet weather. Wet Weather Pro gives us now a bonus of 2 seconds faster per lap. So we were at 1.5 seconds before. Now we're at 2 seconds per lap. Wow, now I'm hoping for rain at these different places. That is awesome. Man, that is so huge. All right, so looks like we're good to go there. We got 5 more races on the current contract for Claudia. And at this point, I see no reason to let her go. We're just going to keep going. Money is not really a huge issue. So the money we need to pay to keep her around is probably not going to be overly prohibitive at this point in our progression. So right now, it looks like everything's still progressing. We've got a new part that'll be coming along fairly soon, but we do have time for one more race. It's time for an exhibition race. All right, looks like Bahrain is the track. Only a 3% chance of rain, which certainly matches up with which you would expect in real life. We got long straightaways, which will, wow, it'll make the engines more important. So second or above, yikes, that is huge. So we're going to keep with where we are on the tire strategy. Soft tires for Claudia, hard tires for Santa Ana. Again, I think these would also work perfectly fine if we swapped them around, and we may do that at some point, but I am really looking forward to seeing how we can do in this race. So we've got Santa Ana, who is not fully maxed out on her car performance, But let's see, what did we get? We got 3rd and 9th. Okay, that is a great starting position for Claudia in particular. And of course, you would expect Santa Ana to be a little bit behind given the tire selection as well as the overall effectiveness. So what do we get here? We get 22, 27. All right, so we'll go with neutral right now. Let's see, what do we have here? We got medium is 16. All right, I like that. We'll just go with this. It looks like we're going to do probably 2 stops with Claudia, 1 for Santa Ana. So immediately Claudia runs right up to the front of the pack. So in the dry, she is showing that with her maxed out car performance as well as her driver traits such as her race performance or race pace, she is doing quite well for herself. Keeping an eye out on the tires. Look like the number 2 car is pretty much neck and neck with us. We're going to go ahead and set up our first pit stop. And we're going to put it back on the soft tires. Okay, and as we come back around, you can see we had a little bit of tire left over. But again, no real reason to push things too much. We'll just make our pit stops, and I think we're still going to be perfectly fine. You can see we come out in 4th position. So the leader has actually run himself out of tires. So 2nd position, doing well on the hard tire, about where we are with Santa Ana, it looks like, on tires. All right, so how far can we go? Santa Ana, 16%. So yeah, let's go ahead and do the pit stop there. We'll go on to the hard tires. And continue to get those bonuses. So there you have it. Coming in for that pit stop, we'll swap over to Claudia. And 3.4 seconds for Santa Ana. So we'll inherit the lead once again. All right, so we're going to set up our pit stop as soon as we come by the pit road entry. There we go. So another set of soft tires. Let's go ahead and back off a little bit here. I actually may have pushed that too far. I did not realize what I was doing at the time, so it looks like we might just squeak by here. Okay, that actually worked out perfect. So we're going to go ahead, go into attack mode with Santa Ana. And Claudia, same thing actually. I think we can get by with that. Yeah, we should be able to. A couple of laps left. Let's go full attack mode with both. You can see that we're in line with 300K. Of course, no points on the line here in this event. All right, so we're going to push as hard as we can with both cars here on the final lap. What can we do with this? Okay, I think we're good. Let's go ahead and go. Yeah, that should give us just enough to make it to the end. I'm not terribly worried about running out. So we've got 2nd place here with Claudia as things finish up. And it looks like 5th position for Santa Ana. I like it. That is very nice. So we come home with a total of $300,000. That is always nice to have that extra money around. So I like to run these exhibition races about as often as we can, as often as they are available. Generally once about every 6 hours, I think, is the way that works out. All right, so we'll work our way through. So we did actually make our bonus target of a 2nd position. So 75K extra, 375K total. And overall, on a team side of things, we came in 1st position. So quite a bit of XP there for both of our drivers, which means more upgrades in all likelihood. So a +1 to sheet metal, +5 to the copper wire. So we just keep things rolling right along. So overall, pretty happy with our strategy. We worked our way through with the soft tires and the hard tires based on the strategies we had in play, and I will certainly take that. So with that, we make a huge jump. We were in the 8,000 range, 85, 8,800, somewhere in that range. Now we're up into the 6,200 range. So not bad. We'll take it again. The higher that we get, the more money we get. So we're up to 1.68 with roughly 3 days remaining in this particular season. So let's move our way through, and now it's time to select which part that we're going to make repairs to. So don't forget, we have one more new part to add to Santa Ana's car. So we'll upgrade her brakes, which will be a huge upgrade in performance for her. So we know automatically we're not going to be dealing with her brakes, which would be this part. So we're fine to ignore those. And let's see, where are we here? So I still like the 81% there, so we're fine to leave those alone. And I'm fine with just the -2 here. That's not, I wouldn't mind getting above 80 on reliability, but overall, not a huge issue. So I think what I'm going to do is do a fix. Let's see, what do we have? +11. Okay, maybe not. In fact, I think I'm just going to go for the reliability, and maybe next time that we take a performance hit, I will put that +11 to work. But right now, I like seeing both of our parts over 80% reliability. Okay, so we'll take that, and now we've got our new part ready to go. Let's go ahead and get it installed. Again, you can see the difference, 940 to 897, but we're about to take care of that. Let's go ahead and assign that. So we pick up another gear, which should be very handy when we get into upgrading for the drivetrain. Okay, so now we're looking at 942 versus 940. And again, this is all wear and tear and repairs that are making. So basically, we're maxed out for both of our cars. We're looking at 3-second pit stop times for each of our drivers, given where we currently are on our strategy. So right now, as we come back to the home screen, we're now back up to great quality on our cars. And we've got some upgrades to do for Claudia. And once again, I'm going to put these into qualifying. Okay, that'll cost $330K. So yeah, these are getting pretty expensive at this point, but no problem here. So in between videos, I'll continue doing the same thing. I will continue getting the sponsor money as often as I can, as often as I can log in and make that happen. I'll get the sponsor money as well as the free money, and we'll just keep moving right along and make all of the upgrades that we can possibly afford. But right now, still right at $900K overall. We're in good shape. So now we have a maxed out car, so we won't have to spend any more money for at least a few more races on upgrading our car. We should have more upgrades ready to go for Santa Ana after our next race, but that's going to do it all for today. Thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned for more Motorsport Manager Online.